We're the only ones really in this space that do what we do. We're kind of like the Windows operating system of the pre-trade space. Interoperability is a key design principle behind Sapphire. And so how do we apply that design principle to the problems we're solving? Let's take this to the pre-trade space and let's describe the problem. Primarily, all of these activities are done manually via email, faxes, and spreadsheets. These premium financial firms sending sensitive information back and forth over these 1980 technologies. What we're doing is bringing Silicon Valley tech into finance. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. We have several big announcements to make. My name is Stephen Roche. I'm the president and co-founder of Sapphire. We're extremely grateful for you coming to hear what we have to share. Thank you as well. My name is Gabino Roche. I am the CEO and founder of Sapphire. Before we go on to the big announcements, let's recap what's occurred since the last time we spoke. Over the last 10 months, there has been a steady evolution of innovation within finance. In the forefront, Sapphire has been trailblazing a path for others to join us in this endeavor. You may have heard last year, on September 15th of 2020, both BlackRock and JP Morgan formally announced a strategic relationship with Sapphire to help bring about the innovation that's so desperately needed within this space. Now, since then, since that joint press release with both BlackRock and JP Morgan, Sapphire has grown leaps and bounds, and we've learned quite a bit. Through BlackRock's use of our technology with their custodians, prime brokers, broker-dealers, and the thought leadership provided by JP Morgan, we've scaled our technology in more beneficial ways than previously presented. So not only are we opening up accounts with broker-dealers, prime brokers, and custodial accounts with custodians, but now you can maintain those accounts on our platform. So if you're opening up in Brazil or India and need to add them as an additional market on your custodian account, that's now possible via Sapphire. If you need to remove the Romanian market, that too is available. If you've got to update your standing instructions for SWIFT reporting, trade message routing, corporate action standing instructions, now that's all under the hood. On top of that, we've enhanced the platform to take the same information and now provide it to multiple lines of businesses, like fund accounting, transfer agents, and even securities lending. So these enhancements and a number of firms we're working with, this segues nicely to our big announcement. Right, and our first one is a pretty big one. we've developed another strategic relationship with this particular institutional firm. And they've been working with us for a number of years. I want to say almost since inception, right? So without further ado, it is my honor and privilege to formally announce that Bank of New York Mellon has joined the Sapphire endeavor. Woo! I got to tell you, this is phenomenal, terrific news. I've been waiting to talk about this. And there's a number of folks I got to thank. I'm not going to get to them all, but real quickly, Shamali Lahiri, Curtis Stuck, Noam Tosh, Adam Watson, and there's a ton of others I know I'm missing, but there is one person, and we've got some good history, that has been with us on this, Carolyn Butler, and I think she has some words for us. And she does. You may have noticed some of this in a press release put out earlier today, and it'll be an honor yet again to read her quote here for you all. It says, "Time is a finite and precious commodity. BNY Mellon's work with Sapphire aims to create true savings for our custody clients and truly expedite the client onboarding process. What once took days or weeks is now real time. This is yet another example of the digitization efforts BNY Mellon has undertaken in the past 2 years with a direct client benefit." Truly humbling. Thank you for those words, Caroline. And I got to say, we've got a lot of exciting stuff that's coming out with BNY, so be on the lookout. It's not just with their asset servicing business. There's a lot more we're doing with them you'll hear in the coming weeks and months. Now, with this network of firms that you've now heard about, we've actually enhanced the platform even more. There's a lot of exciting stuff we're doing and things that only Sapphire can do. And this also links to the next piece of news that we want to share. Right, and if you're familiar with our announcements and how we like to do things, being identical twins, we don't like to accept things in ones. We always accept them in twos. And with that, we'd like to announce this. Like the end of that video said, with a large exclamation point, there's unequivocally, absolutely no competition. Now, there are pretenders out there. There are even some imitators, and like I always like to say, imitation is quite flattering. But I think you can tell there's absolutely nobody in this space that does what we do. Now, with the increase of our patents from 48 to 67, this exemplifies the fact that only we at Sapphire can exclusively offer what we do. We get asked a lot about our patents and our technology, and so let's talk about it. One, we've got utility patents that helps create memory around the relationship of data and documents, not just between two firms, but multilaterally, with asset owners and investors, your clients, with asset managers, hedge funds, prime brokers, broker-dealers, and custodians, all assembled in the pre-trade space, but then represented again for the life cycle of that fund in the context of trading and post-trade. The idea is, if you've entered a data point once, you should never have to do it again. If you've submitted that document once, you shouldn't have to do it again. The platform remembers for you and makes it interoperable so that it goes and feeds to other systems downstream. The other half of the patents is around design. A number of our clients love the user experience. They love that they're walking away from the mainframes of Windows 95 wizard setup experiences that they're used to and coming into the world of Google, Apple, Facebook technology in finance. But we do this more than just for a better user experience. We also help to derive user intent. Why is that? Even though we work in finance, you would imagine that the data is consistent, but frankly, it's not. Firms talk about a fund, and they won't even say if it's a legal entity, or if it's a special purpose vehicle, or if it's a sub-account, jacket and sleeve, that sits underneath a legal entity. Sapphire's UI helps to derive intent to ensure data integrity, so we can map that data and translate it seamlessly between one firm and another.
This is the power behind the tool. This is what sets us apart. And this is why we can actually make this information not just streamlined in pre-trade, but represented again in trading and post-trade. And this now links to one more bit of news.
Right. And we're on to our one more big thing. Now, we at Sapphire believe in the democratization of data. And one thing that's not talked about enough is how we should be implementing interoperability to democratize that data. Imagine you having all your data and documents, your personal pictures and photos, your videos and experiences uploaded into the Apple iCloud. Yet, you're unable to share it with certain friends and families and workers and colleagues, any of this information, because they're on an Android device. Yet again, you might not be able to upload it to social media because there aren't API connections for it. It would be quite frustrating, infuriating, and in today's business practice, completely unacceptable. So now when you look at institutional finance, there are pseudo-monopolies that make a living off holding your data and documents hostage. Finance needs to clamor and demand, it is their data and documents, to allow it to be portable, adaptable, and interoperable with other solutions out there. It is their data and documents, right? Once that occurs, you will have a corral of collaboration with a multitude of vendors to have a seamless experience providing innovative solutions. There's not going to be one vendor that solves it all with a silver bullet. Now, once interoperability gets established, it's up to you, but you could start setting a policy that you will no longer be negotiating with hostage takers. My brother likes to be provocative. The way I would position it is, you need to be evangelists at your respective firms. When you employ your technology teams or a solutions vendor into your organization, ask them, is that solution interoperable? Will it plug and play with others so we can have benefits downstream? We don't have to worry about being locked in behind a fiefdom, some walled city where we can't interact with the rest of the world. This is where the innovation will come at play. This has been the design principle behind Sapphire from the point of inception. We have done this with a number of fintech companies, another number of sister companies that the firms who work with us today know this to be true. And I want you to watch out. At the end of this very month, in June, there's going to be one big announcement along the theme of interoperability, and you won't want to miss it. So please be sure to stay tuned for that event upcoming. Thank you for that, Gabino, and there will be more in the weeks to come after that. And so with that, we'd like to sincerely thank you for joining us for this announcement and the series of announcements that are about to come. If you'd like to follow us on LinkedIn. That's usually where we put our news updates on there on our company page as well as our personal pages. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. So you can catch us on there or look for an archive of videos that we have uploaded on YouTube, as well as always on our website, www.sapphire.com. So until the end of this month, when we see you again, please take care and thank you very much.